Please don't stop the music. Good day. Good day, madam. Good day, milady. Good morning, everyone. Hey. Hey. Hope the hats aren't more than 30 bucks. Hey, full disclosure, the hats are going to be $35. All right. They're expensive to make. I wish it weren't the case, but it is. I gotta make some money. Made in China. I think so, actually. I mean, the hat was made in China. The embroidery was made in the good old United States of America. Later today, I'll put up the link. I had to go this whole process with Shopify. This whole process through Spotify, you know. If you're streaming tomorrow for the playoffs, I won't be a check, 'cause I'm going to another concert. I think I'll be streaming tomorrow. Sunday is where it gets dicey. Mother's Day. Going to see my wonderful mother, who I love dearly. Going to have lunch with my mama. And I could be wrong, but I think the Thunder Nuggets play at noon on Mother's Day. Is that right? Oh, 2:30. Wasn't what Mavs Suns game was on Mother's Day? Was it a win for them? Can't remember. I like this song. Was it game 5? What's up with the fucking lighting? Dude, what the fuck? Oh, game 4 is the win. All right, hold up. Color of the shirt? No. Then what the fuck are you doing? This is so annoying. This pisses me off beyond belief. You have no idea how much this pisses me off. Is that your favorite Mavs series in the last 5 years? I think that Suns series is probably the number one, only because they really did have no business winning it. Yeah, this looks good. You know, they really had no business winning it. That's what made it more fun. When you win a series as an underdog, it's the most fun one. No, store's gonna open later tonight. Store's going to open later tonight or today, probably around 3-ish if I had to guess. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure the exact time, but it'll be open later today. Hey, and look, these things. All I'll say is this. These things better fucking sell fast because I really don't love doing merch. Just for the sole reason, that it is like I only sold 100 shirts last year, right? I mean, I bought 100 shirts, so it's not. I'm not saying that like a low number, but I'm saying I only sold 100 shirts, and that was a pain in my ass. You know, that was difficult. These things better sell like hotcakes. Because tell me why. Why the fuck does this have 11,000 likes? Can you explain that to me? Do you usually make a profit off merch? Yes. I'm not doing merch. And look, hey, listen, a slightly capitalist chiming in here. I'm not doing merch unless I'm making profit. Okay, because I have to warehouse all of it. I have to shit. It takes hours upon hours upon hours of my time. So while I'm making a profit on my initial investment, my rate of return, right? My return on investment, money wise. However, the amount of time that goes into packaging all of these individually, one by one, selling them, it's not worth it. But it's fun though. Yes, I saw there was bot accounts. I tried to block as many as possible, but it is what it is. I had a friend that sent me this tweet last night. He said, "This is popping off," and I looked at it, had 9,000 likes. I was like, "Why the fuck does that have 9,000 likes?" So these better sell quick. Because you guys were, yeah, the shirts. We're going to buy the shirts. I was holding on to those for way longer than I wanted to hold on to them for. That's just the truth. Hi, Side Bias. Thank you for streaming. Really needed it. Hard times on in my country right now. Helps my mind. You are a brilliant entertainer here and on playback. Let's have a great day. I love that. Slightly Capitalist back at it again with the 85. What? The Gorilla's a mod? Who the fuck is the Gorilla account? Why is the Gorilla a moderator in this chat? Who is that? No, right now is not a moderator in this chat. Who is that? Oh, Doomer? Okay, all right. That's hilarious. I must unblock slightly shirts. Well, there's actually still some for sale. Believe it or not. No, the hats will go up later today. Will the hat give me the military discount? Maybe. There was one reply to this I found hilarious. Let me see if I can find it. Because I'm not gonna lie. I tested the water on this hat just because I was like, hey, is this? I mean, look at this. Jesus Christ, what a disgusting app this is. What a disgusting app. Nah, this is corny as fuck. I think this was the one. Upset about stolen valor. No, this wasn't the one I was thinking of. That's hilarious though too. There was one of them where the guy was upset about stolen valor. And I was a little bit worried about it. Now I have some of my best friends are veterans of this beautiful, great country. Oh, this is it right here. Dang, that's offensive. This about to get taken down. Be less soft. Sure, go ahead and fuck with the troops. Napoleon F. McMountain. Barstool stand. Let's get. You can't make it up, guys. You can't make it up. When edgy humor meets Our beautiful military. Your tribute to the vets on the day my country goes to war. With some timing, though, I'll say. The Hats will be live later today. I'm looking forward to an entire weekend of boxing these up and sending them out. It's a really fun process, guys. But I'm assuming these do well, I'll get another batch. Wait, is that the word we usually start with? What word do we usually start with? Rope. Roped. I like that word. Okay, here we fucking go. Prime. Okay. All right. Blank. Gripe. Okay. All right. Bripe. Cripe. Fripe. Tripe. Cripe. Ripe. Ripe. Pripe. Dripe. Vripe. Zripe. Tripeboard. Okay. We're him. Classic. Right? We've conquered Wordle. We've conquered Wordle. This is the game here. Contrast, different. Contrast, difference. Shutter. Dim, shade, tint. Dim, shade, tint. I feel like those three are connected, but I'm not comfortable enough with the last one yet. Faint. Okay. Color, shade, tint could be an option there. Color, shade, brightness. Shade, brightness. Vague. Have you guys seen that? It's going around Twitter. It's these three guys who do fake first take. It's pretty hilarious. Quotient. All right, I'm kind of struggling a little bit here, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a vague idea of where some of these go, but I'm struggling to put them all together as one. That's the last part, putting them all together. Dim, tint, shade, faint. I mean, I don't think those are all connected. Not even one away. All right. That was a fucking terrible guess. That was a terrible guess. It's messed up because I knew that was a god-awful guess. Brightness. Blind. No. Blind. Faint. Well, tint and dim, I feel like almost have to be connected, as do shade. Like, I know it wasn't one away, but that's a little bit surprising to me. Tint, dim, faint. And shade aren't together. I mean, those work. Those work. those fucking work, man. Shutter, I mean, there's got to be a camera thing here, right? Remote, I mean, you can use a remote to take pictures on a camera, but I don't think that's it. I'm just assuming there's a camera related thing here. Contrast, brightness. I mean, these are like tints, color. I don't know, dude. Oh my God. TV display settings. Okay. That was a just complete and total guess. Okay. Brightness, color, contrast, tint. Okay. TV display settings. I mean, who's going in their TV display settings? I mean, what year is this? 1957? No one's doing that. Product. Drape. Shade. What is vague? Where are we getting vague at? Where's vague coming from? Is this going to be something fucking stupid? I'm looking around and I'm thinking it might be stupid. Dim sum. Where's some? Where do we think some? Some, wait, hold on a second. Some product quotient difference. Okay. That one should have come to me quicker. Dim, faint, shutter, drape. Shutter, shade, drape. Dim. One away. Shutter, shade, dim, faint. Oh, okay. All right. We have one fucking guess left. Drape, dim, shade. What is it? Replace dim with blind? Drape, shutter, shade, blind. Faint, dim, remote, vague. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's probably it, isn't it? Nice. Window treatments in the singular. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. I think that was easier than we made it out to be. But, we get in our own head quite a bit here. We get in our own head a little bit with these sometimes. That's just the reality. Window treatments in the singular. No, that makes sense, actually. Blinds, drapes, shades, shutters. Like, we should have known that. These were easy. I mean, these were easy ones. All right, so today we're going to talk about some of the playoffs. Been such a bizarre postseason in a lot of ways. Such a bizarre postseason. And then we're also the lottery's on Monday. So we're going to rank best possible. We're going to rank best possible landing spots for Cooper Flagg. That's what's on the docket today. We're going to go through all the lottery teams. What team do we want him to go to? What team do we not want him to go to? Hat will be on sale later today. And there's only 100 of them. You care where Zion goes? Well, yeah, of course. Is there a team out there that could view Zion the way in different caliber players? I know. Different contracts, all of that. But is there a team out there that can view Zion like a that can view Zion like Kristaps Porzingis? Where it's like, we're okay if this guy doesn't play, really. I was trying to think about that. But it's just different because it's a little bit different, though, because he makes so much more money than KP did. And they see, like, even OKC, he just makes so much money that it fucks it up. Load up on guns. KP made 32 million. Zion makes 38. Oh, wow. KP was making 32 mil when the Celtics traded for him. Jesus. It's actually a little surprising. I thought that would be way more. All right, well. Probably Knicks. I don't know if the Knicks would want to do that. Good morning, folks. It is Friday, May 9th. May the 9th be with you. 11:06 a.m. Central Standard Time. We got a lot to discuss today. We're going to talk about the playoffs so far. It's been such a bizarre postseason. I have hats that are releasing later today. Only got 100 of them. So, I mean, they're going to fly. They're going to fly, folks. And we're also going to, the draft lottery is on Monday. So we're going to take a look at the lottery. We're going to take a look at each teams. And we're going to go ahead and rank. We're going to go ahead and rank the teams based off of what we would like to see the most. Okay? And just, while we're over here, let's just one spin. One spin of the lottery. Just one spin. We're just going to do one spin of the lottery while we're over on tankathon.com. Boom, right there. Mavericks move up to number 3. Just like that. It's that easy, guys. It's that easy. So that's what we're going to look at today. And let's start here, actually. Let's start here. This was maybe one of the worst timings I've ever seen for a trailer or a commercial. Now, over the course of the postseason, if you watch TV, you know that you get the same commercials, same commercials over and over and over. The Jalen Green Wingstop commercial, that one lives in infamy already. Okay. This one's going to be up there. Superman releases on my birthday, I believe, July 12th. Coincidence? I don't think so. Superman dropped immediately after game 2. Dropped a trailer featuring Jayson Tatum.
Can he step up and be Superman?
That's absolutely brutal timing. These commercials are so funny. Can Jayson Tatum step up and be Superman? Yes, he can. Jayson Tatum last 2 games, 13 points, 5 of 19, 23.7 of 23, completely and totally shrunk in the moment at the end of the game. It's fucked up. I don't want to be like too mean. Post Superman commercial, Tatum going to be a problem? Well, the Celtics better hope so. Aged poorly immediately. I mean, it didn't even age poorly. It came out the womb poorly. It came out the womb deformed. They dropped this right after game 2, and everyone was like, let's look at the replies to this. Horrific timing. Yeah. He thinks he can't see him. Should have held off on this promo. They choose the worst athlete at the worst time for marketing this movie. Oh, man. Does anyone kind of feel bad for Tatum? Does anyone kind of feel bad for him? Meet carried by friends, man. Celtics are due a hot game, but D. White has already been great. He's due a stinker, so let's see. I mean, he gets shit on so regularly. He's the anomaly, yes. I was thinking about this this morning. It's one of the most interesting players I can remember, just in how the narrative surrounding him is, because he won a ring, and immediately nobody gave a shit. Like, he constantly got shit on, meet carried by friends, man. He's on a super team. Meet super team, man. Despite the fact that he has had some pretty standout performances in the postseason. Is he a little, has he done some corny stuff? Sure. But immediately, his team wins the finals. I mean, that's supposed to give you leeway as a superstar, right? Like, you're supposed to get like a 5-year free pass there. But he didn't win conference finals MVP. He didn't win finals MVP. And then immediately, they go to the Olympics. They go to France. And he gets benched for Team USA. And that's all anyone talks about. I mean, I feel somewhat bad for him. Like, what would Tatum have to do for people to be like, all right. Maybe it's time to chill on the Tatum shit. They come back in this series, they win the finals, and he wins finals MVP. Like, would that settle us down a little bit? Play well? I mean, I guess that really is it. He's played like absolute shit. It'd be one thing if they were losing and he was playing well, but he's played like fucking garbage so far in this series. He's been terrible. He's also just one of the most frustrating stars. I would want to rip my hair out. I'd want to rip my hair out if he were the best player on my favorite team. Because on one hand, he's very versatile. He plays every game. I mentioned this on playback. When your number one thing people say about you is, well, he plays every game. That's typically not a good sign, right? But he plays every single game. He can defend a bunch of different positions. He is liable to pop off for 40 points. His playmaking's improved leaps and bounds. He's a good rebounder. But what would make me rip my hair out is you watch the game, and I think this is part of just the Celtics' identity. And it's just like, dude, you have Jalen Brunson. Like, you're posting up Jalen Brunson, or like you're getting a high post touch on Jalen Brunson. Why are we shooting a step back three? Hey, you have Mitchell Robinson on you on an island. Why are we just settling for a sidestep three? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's so frustrating. Yeah, exactly. Then he gets OG on him late in the game. I'm not even talking about the last possession. That was incredible defense by the Knicks. But he gets OG on him. It's like 4 minutes left. Maybe even less than that. He spent the entire game settling for tough-ass shots against Brunson, against Mitchell Robinson, instead of attacking. And he goes right at OG. And gets clamped. And it's like, that's the possession you drive. That's the possession you try to drive on. It's just like mind-numbing. It's boggling. He's just so frustrating. Superman's taking the day off. Who's going to replace him? Jayson Tatum. We're fucked, guys. Pack it up. It's over. We lost. There's no way out of this. The hell? There's no way out of this one, guys. Oh, man. Oh, and even the Superman fans are mad. is in damage control again. No new Superman trailer. Instead, we get this awful Jayson Tatum as Spot. So lame. Wouldn't be surprised if James Gunn's Superman flops hard this summer. So I have to ask this. I am notoriously an anti-trailer guy. I don't like trailers. I don't want trailers. Trailers should do nothing but just give me maybe the first 20 seconds of a movie. That way I know the feel of a movie. I know, like, that's it, right? I don't get why people expect like 7 different trailers of the same movie. Like, do you want them to just to fucking release the movie in tiny bits before the movie actually comes out? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand. Wonder if Jaylen Brown took that personal. It wasn't him selected to be Superman. Could be tension in Boston. They called, who's Superman's sidekick? I'm not a Superman stan. Who has the worst superstar aura in the NBA besides Tatum? No, it's probably Tatum probably has the worst rep among any superstar and probably gets the most disrespect amongst any superstar. Crypto the dog. Damn, they had Jaylen Brown as Crypto the dog. Jesus, that's fucked up, man. Slightly too cool to know Robin. Dude, Robin's Batman, bro. I know Batman. Superman doesn't really have a sidekick, does he? It's Pluto the dog, Crypto the dog. They had Jaylen Brown as Crypto the dog. The Bateman commercial is fire, though. I'm so done with the Bateman commercial. Pretty funny concept. I'm so done with the Bateman commercial. You know what I'm so sick and tired of? And it's not this poor guy's fault, but I'm so sick and tired of it. We don't give a fuck about Jake from State Farm, man. We don't. State Farm really was feeling themselves when they hired this new, hey, we were unleashing new Jake from State Farm. And they unleashed this guy, and it's like, Jake from State. Like, we don't fucking care. They were trying to make a Jake from State Farm universe. They're trying to make he's in 2K. There's missions in 2K, this stupid ass game. 2K's so dumb. In the career mode, go to Jake from State Farm to get your next mission. What, dude, can I just play the Wizards? Dude, can I just play can I play my Wizards game, man? No, you got to go to Jake from State Farm first at the State Farm shop in 2K. Man, fuck Jake from State Farm. And God bless the guy. I don't want Jake from State Farm lore. $2K open rolls absolute trash. Got to talk to SGA so you can customize your player. 2K is just a hilarious game, man. 2K is just a hilarious game. Why do Celtics fans keep saying KP has AIDS? Because he has one of these strangest illnesses I can ever remember. There's a lot of... He doesn't have AIDS. Okay, let's just start there. But there's a lot of speculation that he might have long COVID. Because it's just been bothering him forever and they don't really know what it is. Can we get the Noid in 2K? I stay noided. Try having the name and having to hear a stupid ass joke about it 8,000 times. What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm? Khakis. Anyways, feel bad for Tatum. Horrible timing. Horrible timing. Jake from State Farm. It pisses me off so much. God bless the guy. I have no qualms with Jake. Me and Jake don't have any beef or anything like that. It's just, dude, we don't care about Jake from State Farm. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sick and tired of this shit, man. I don't care about the Jake from State Farm universe. And now Batman's there, but it's Bateman. I don't give a fuck. Maybe Nico sent the boss call about Jake from State Farm. Oh, about KP. All right, let's look at these series, how things are going. Round 2. Indy, Cleveland. Oh, man. Initially predicted Cleveland 6. Now, in my bracket that I made before the playoffs started, I did have Indy making the conference finals, so I feel pretty good about that. An extra day of rest for the Cavs is much needed. They don't play again until tomorrow, but they are down 2-0. And we'll get to the Knicks and Celtics here in a second, obviously, but I don't see it. I think that Indy has some sort of devil magic in the playoffs. I made this tweet as a joke, but I do kind of mean it. Heat culture is dead. Some argue it never even lived, but Heat culture is dead. We're done with Heat culture. Man, we're done with the Heat culture. And we're moving on to, I'm sorry, yes, they do play tonight. They do play tonight, but it was an extra day of rest for them. We're done with the Heat culture. We're moving on to Pacers culture. This is what culture really is. Heat culture died with Pat Riley. Pat Riley is very much alive, but I get where you're coming from. Indy's been a top, 7 team in the league by pretty much every single metric for like 4 months. I mean, for a long time. A long portion of the season. They know what they're doing, man. I mean, what Halliburton's done so far this postseason, the clutch is insanity. I think I saw he's like 11 of 12. I don't know if this tweet's true because this sounds so insane, but 11 of 12 on shots. Let me find it. It was some absurd stat about Halliburton's clutch bucket making. But they know exactly their brand of basketball. They have never lost at home in the playoffs in the Tyrese Halliburton era. And how about this? Tyrese Halliburton is 10 of 11 on shots to tie or take the lead in the last 2 minutes this year. 10 of 11. What the hell? What the hell, Burton? That's honestly an insane stat. I can't see the Cavs winning 4 of the next 5 games. That's just kind of where I'm at, unfortunately for them. Especially considering all of the different injuries that they are dealing with. And their series, game 2 especially, it just is this reoccurring theme we've seen throughout the playoffs of just these catastrophic collapses. I mean, it's insane. How many of these have we seen this year? I mean, it's insane how many complete total collapses we've seen. And that will forever be, I mean, you're going to look back at the series and think about game 2 over and over and over. Indy has 3 games at home. They got to win 2. That's it. You just got to win 2 of your next 3 home games and you win the series. I don't see it. I don't see them losing. I don't see them losing the series. So I think they'll close it out at home. We'll go Indy in 6. 77%. Shout out to Luka Doncic. Pacers have a really good experienced coach. I'm sure it has something to do with their success. Yep. Shout out to Rick. Shout out to Rick. Knicks, Boston. Game 3 tomorrow. Madison Square Garden. Get-in price, I think, is $1,000 just to get in the building. It's going to be insanity in there. It's going to be crazy. I can't shake the feeling that the Celtics are still going to win this series, honestly. Chuck made a point on Inside the NBA that sounds stupid, but it is a great point, and he's 100% correct. The pressure to win Game 3 for both the Knicks and the Pacers, as crazy as it is, the pressure is on those teams. Because you win, you're up 3-0. History tells us the series is done. The series is done and over with. You just have to win 1. Right? No team's ever come back down 3-0 because it's next to impossible, barring like a major injury, to do it in basketball, in my opinion. That's why we've never seen it. But if you lose game 3 and it's 2-1, okay. From Boston, I'm like, all right, we're back in this shit. We win game 4, we get home court back, it's over. My big difference here is, one, Cleveland's just destroyed by injuries. Indy's way better than people are giving them credit for. The Knicks have played incredibly. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Celtics have had 20-point leads in both games. First time ever that a team has blown 20-point leads in back-to-back playoff games. Every stat there is, all of the predictive stats, all of the shot quality stats say that the Celtics are shooting way below their expectation, and they're due like a hot shooting game. They're generating quality looks. But, that shit, I mean, I remember the Mavs lost the Warriors in 2022. Gentlemen's sweep, 5 games, had no chance to win the series. They won the shot quality battle of every single game, I think. I remember. I mean, the shot quality shit doesn't matter at all in a series if you're not making shots. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the Celtics are an incredible team on the road. Man, I don't know. I mean, it all comes down to game 3. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like they're due a good shooting game. Well, maybe not. Maybe they just have a bad shooting series. That's it. I mean, maybe not. All it takes is one more bad shooting game, and you're pretty much fucked. Like, that's the thing. If, let's say this series ended, and the Celtics won in 6, and let's say they were up 2-0 and they lost game 3 in New York the way they lost game 1. Okay, and then they went up 3-1, and then they lost game 5 the way they lost game 2. Okay, like that would be forgotten in the annals of history. Right? Yeah, shot quality does take into account who's shooting. But there's a couple things that actually really scare me if I'm a Celtics fan. One, we're down 2-0, losing both games at home. So I'm scared already. But KP's mystery illness has forced Al Horford to play an ungodly amount of minutes. And, Horford's longevity deserves a ton of praise, but he's looked fucking terrible in this series. That scares me. Knicks haven't been amazing either. Yeah, I mean, that's also a way to look at it. KP has ligma? What's ligma? I would be utterly shocked if the Celtics don't win game 3. Now, I said that about game 2, but I would be blown away. It's a strain of Bofa? Now, what the hell's Bofa? I would be shocked if the Celtics don't win game 3. And then 2-1, the series feels just completely different, which is why a lot of people say this is such a must win for the Knicks. Hold on a second. What are the series odds for this? Surely the Knicks are series favorites, right? The Celtics are still favorites to win the series. That's actually insane. That's actually insane to me. I'm not a betting man. I'd bet money on the Knicks. I mean, plus money on the Knicks up 2-0 with 3 home games. As a Celtics fan, I feel like I should be devastated, but they've done this shit almost every year except last in the playoffs. They're probably favored to win every single game. I mean, minus 120 is a little crazy. The Pacers have become pretty comfortable favorites in their series. I'd bet my life savings on the Knicks. I don't know about that. 5.5 point favorites tomorrow. I mean, that makes sense to me. Now, I got to say, I don't really get, because the Cavs are -5 tonight, but the Pacers are such heavy favorites. They're up by 20 in both games. I get all of that, and they're due a hot shooting game. I mean, but all it takes is one more bad shooting game. If they have another bad shooting game tomorrow, they're down 3-0. That's it. One more bad shooting game. Their margin for error has shrunk to nothing. The way the Celtics team plays, you can always pencil in a stinker. Like, that's just the reality. Pencil in a stinker in a series. A team gets a game, maybe two, because they shot like shit. They shoot 60 fucking threes. They missed the most threes ever in a 2-game stretch. Okay. But all it takes is one more bad shooting game. All it takes is one more shitty Jayson Tatum performance. All it takes is one more Jaylen Brown disappearing act. All it takes is one more Derek White, 1 of 9 from 3. All it takes is one more Drew Holiday, 0 of 7 from 3. And you're down 3-0. And the series is done. That's it. So I don't know. I think the Knicks being favorites or underdogs still in the series is a little crazy. If Knicks win Game 3, then Game 4 tickets are going to be $1 million. Yeah, they probably would be. Not to mention Jalen Brunson couldn't get physically assaulted and shoot 20 free throws one more time and it's over. Or like somebody mentioned earlier, you get a Cat 6.63 games. Oh my God, Cat has 24 points at halftime. Like, we're talking about the Celtics play bad. I mean, all it takes now, margin of error, is the Knicks have a game where they're unconscious from 3. The Knicks have a game where they can't miss. The Knicks have a game where they're feeding off the home crowd. And then you're done. Like, that's it. So your margin for error has shrunk to 0. Now, with all that being said, I still kind of, in my heart of hearts, think the Celtics are going to win the series. I just can't shake the fact that, you know, they've had 20-point leads in both games, and they've shot like shit. I can't shake it. After Game 2, Boston and I'm going to go 7, but I don't feel good about it. Celtics feel like a better team. They just employ choke artists. I mean, they are a better team. But yes, that is it. They haven't closed games because they play a disgusting brand of basketball sometimes. Let me rephrase that. Whenever they're missing shots, it feels fucking disgusting. And they have a superstar who's really pushing the boundaries of what we consider a superstar. And the Knicks have the best closer, or at least one of the 2-3 best closers in the league. My theory is the C's have had it so easy for so long, they won't have the grit to climb the mountain. True, they got Superman. That's true. They do have Superman now. Superman substitute. Would you rather have a Boston accent or New York accent? That's a true question. New York accent, for sure. It's funny because last night I was just perusing streaming services after the Timberwolves Warriors game. I was just perusing streaming services and landed on 4 nights in October. Or is it 4 days in October? The 30 for 30 about the Red Sox coming back down 3-0. You want to know something? The long docuseries have kind of made like the 50-minute little documentaries feel weird. Like, I was watching it and the pacing just felt so wonky for the 50-minute. They had like a 50 minutes to do a documentary. And it was good. But I was like, man, I feel like they should have spent more time on like this. Should have spent more time on that. Should have spent way more time on that. But I say that, and I've tried to get into Celtic City, but it's a little bit difficult for me. I want to support my guy Bill Simmons, but when it comes to Celtic City, I'm just like, how many fucking parts is this? You know, like I don't know who I don't know who it's for. Is it for Celtics fans? They probably already know all this shit. Now I approached it as, oh, this could be good. This could be just like good for a basketball fan because you do learn, you know, like Bob Cousy. Well, did you know that for like 30 years he was considered the greatest player of all time? Like Bob Cousy, the early years of Bill Russell. But it's just like, I already knew all this shit though too. And then it's like, if you didn't know Bill Russell was really good, or if you didn't know, I miss how much you shit on Bill Simmons before the Celtics smashed the Mavs. Let's make one thing clear. I did not shit on Bill Simmons in I can't stand this guy way. It was always in good fun. It was always in jest. Russello. Should we make a 30-part docuseries on the Celtics? I feel like every NBA fan would love that. That's just, honestly, it's kind of Bill just overestimating how much people care or like the Celtics. Like, that's just the reality. The reality is that people don't fucking like them. You know, it is what it is. People don't like the guy. Or people don't like the team. It's cool that they're historic and stuff, but like, bro, random, but Pete Rose was so smart when he went up to bat. What does that have to do with anything we just said? Like, there's not even an expanding on that. Pete Rose was so smart when he went to bat. Okay. Russello, I've been doing research on the early 70s NBA. Give me your 27 players from the 73-74 season. Put me on the spot, but all right. At 27, I have... That shit's hilarious because Russello would absolutely have a top 27 list off the top of his head. And then just have like an insane... An insane scenario that he just pulled out of his ass. A hypothetical about one of the players or an argument that nobody's made that he argues for 10 minutes. The city of Boston has 13 championships in my lifetime. Those assholes win too much. That's also part of it is it's like part of the docuseries is like the highs and the lows of the Celtics. It's like, you guys expect me to give a fuck about your lows? Like, the 90s were tough. It's like, okay, you have the most rings out of anyone. What do you mean? That is also, too, for doing the Bill Simmons part, when he's just, like, going on about the Patriots. Like, the way he talks about it sometimes is like, you would think they've never won anything, and they've been, like, the Cleveland Browns. It's like, whoa-ass me, bro. Whoa-ass me. God forbid a Mavs docuseries. Oh, we'll get that. We'll get that. I also, last night, I don't know why, I was watching a bunch of, like, sports docuseries. I watched King's Ransom, the documentary about the Wayne Gretzky trade. Again, a docuseries changed things because I'm watching this and I'm like, this should have been longer than 50 minutes. This needed to be like a 5-parter. Especially because I'm coming from someone who don't know shit about hockey. It's like I could have done with much more information about this. But that watching that, I'm like, oh yeah, there will 1,000% be a docuseries in the next 20 years about the Mavericks in this time period. Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe I'll make it. Hey, bookmark this. Maybe I'll make it. I was watching all of those because I've had this itch lately, you know, We did the Luka trade video on here. I watched I've been doing. I just have this itch. That's the kind of shit I think I want to make. Honestly, I honestly kind of feel like that's the type of shit that I like making. Is those longer form videos. In terms of videos, I'm kind of done doing just like the one-off 10-minute videos. I don't really like it. I don't really enjoy them. I don't think they're very good. You know, that's just kind of where I'm at. All right, let's get back to this. I don't know what it is. I just can't shake the feeling. Green stated that as he was elbowing a reporter with his left arm. All right, should we talk about that series? Golden State Warriors, Minnesota. Man, it's so crazy because this series should be so much more fun than it is. This series, I was watching the game last night, and the commentators were even kind of mentioning it. Did that feel like a playoff game in there? Like the vibes in that building just did not feel like a playoff series at all. It felt quiet. I don't know if it was an audio issue or what, but I don't know if it was an audio issue or what, but the Steph Curry injury has just completely and totally derailed this series. It went from being an honestly very interesting series, especially after the Warriors steal game 1. I didn't really think the Warriors had much of a chance in this series, but now with Steph out I'm just going to be honest, I think it's probably going to be the rest of the series. Like they say, the fact that they've already essentially ruled him out through game 4 is, to me, a terrible sign. Just a terrible sign. Yeah, the zoom-ins on Steph are crazy, especially when Ant went down with that ankle injury. And they just kept zooming in on Steph. The Target Center pulled their resources from the audio to add to that camera angle for game 4 of round 1. Okay, that's fair. Next year, you can guarantee the Warriors will avoid the Rockets of the playoffs again. I mean, it's impossible to imagine. It's really impossible to imagine a scenario where the Warriors minus Steph Curry can win the series. I mean, it's just impossible to imagine it. They don't have enough people who can dribble the fucking basketball. You know? They don't have enough people who can dribble the basketball. Like, it's kind of hard to watch. And Jimmy doesn't feel like he has I'm going to take this game over, get on my back level anymore. Didn't feel like he had that really at any point throughout the course of the season. And now he's dealing with a back injury. Like, I'd honestly be a little surprised if the Warriors win another game. That's just kind of where I'm at. Maybe I'll give just a red hot shooting game to the Warriors at home. Maybe. Even if you get a Jimmy game, like I just don't think there's enough people who can dribble the basketball alongside of him. I don't see it. Steph ran 2 miles in game 7 and played 2 days after. Yeah, and I think I'd be surprised if Steph plays another game in this series. And we kind of talked about how teams are up 2-0, like the Knicks, and yeah, you can definitely argue the Celtics have played terribly and they've shot horribly, but then you could also make the argument where it's like, well, the Knicks haven't looked like fantastic in those games either. You know, the Timberwolves haven't looked good for like 3 games. I don't even think they looked that impressive last night, if I'm being honest with you. Ant has struggled for a bit now. They did shoot well from 3 last night. But they were due a game like that, and it wasn't like they were red hot from 3. I mean, they shot well. They're sort of regressing to the mean. And again, I mean, look at the lineup. You're getting 14 Pat Spencer minutes. You know, you're getting 19 Trace Jackson Davis minutes now, who's been pretty solid in this series, actually. But, I mean, you're running a lot. Like, Kuminga went from out the rotation, fuck you, like, we hate you, we cannot wait for your ass to get traded, to 26 minutes. That's the analytical nerd copium. Well, just missing shots. I heard somebody say this, I forgot who, but it makes sense. Like, That type of stuff matters over the course of a regular season, right? If you're having like a tough 10-day stretch, and it's like, well, just looking at the numbers, we're just having a bad shooting stretch. That's really it. No reason to panic. That's fine. Over the course of a series, though, yeah, a bad shooting stretch. All you need is 4 bad shooting games, and your fucking season's done. Like, that's it. Kevin Knox was out there for non-garbage time minutes. Like, I don't know. This series just feels absolutely cooked, and it's a damn shame because I thought it was going to be a pretty fun, entertaining series. But Draymond's in the news now. He got a technical foul. He had some words to say following the game.
Black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
So Draymond upset after getting a technical foul yesterday. Let's see if we can find the play on here. For elbowing Naz Reid in the face. Pretty similar to the tech he got in the Houston series. I believe it was Fred VanVleet, correct? Where he got fouled and he's kind of flailing after to try and draw a call and elbows somebody in the face.
Got a chance to be upgraded to the Flagg.
And then, now not shown in this is the fact that he did go absolutely bonkers on the officials after this. And here it is. This is right after getting a tech. Going crazy. The Warriors had to sub him out of the game just to get him off the court.
Which Steph understands.
Is Dre the biggest gaslighter in the world? I mean, dude, what do you expect? You have this reputation, man. I don't know. Like, this is who you are. Like, you've been suspended from a finals game, bro. And I don't even I didn't even really want to talk about this because I just know how it's going to go, what people are going to say. People are going to be racist in response to this. People are going to unleash the dog whistles in response to this. Okay, so watch what you say in the chat. I'm just going to say that. Watch what you say in the chat. Okay? But, I mean, this is your, like, he's like, he's one of one. There's nobody like this in the league. He is one of one. He's one of one. His flailing, he kicks guys, he elbows guys, he screams at the refs constantly. He's in refs' faces constantly. He's one of one. There's nobody else like him. There's no agenda, man. This is from Windhorse today. A big complaint across the league is that Draymond gets away with stuff after he commits a flagrant and technical. There's a belief that he gets too much leeway. This is not my words. This is what people tell me. Yeah, anyone who watches knows that's the case. It's a running joke. Draymond with 5 fouls, Draymond with a flagrant, Draymond with a technical is the most plot armor of anybody ever. Of any movie, any show, anything, any story. Pat Bev was the last crash out and the league got him out of here. Well, Draymond's way better than Pat Bev. Like, let's not disrespect Draymond like that. Despite all of this, Draymond is still, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best defensive players the league has ever seen. Now, I do want to say I saw this tweet going around. I don't see it here, but that there was a fan who maybe made a suggestive comment towards Draymond that also pissed him off during the game. I mean, you got a minute-long compilation, and this is from Hater Report, to be fair. So there's always some shit, but what was dirty about that one? Oh, the eye poke. Apparently, a fan called him a slur. Yeah, there was a video going around. But I mean, dude, you got a reputation. Like, it is what it is. That's the way you play. That's like part of your whole fucking shtick. That's your whole shtick, man. Remember when Zaza injured Kawhi? Yes, that's why I hate Zaza. I hate Zaza Pachulia. He's one of my least favorite NBA players of all time. I can't stand him. The headlock on Gobert? Yeah. I honestly don't hate Draymond. I respect him. I like him. I you know, it sucks because he does have dirty plays, and it is frustrating to watch at times. But I think it's good for the league. I do. I think a guy like Draymond is good for the league. Having a heel like Draymond, it helps the fact that he is incredible defensively. You know, like he was so fucking good against Şengün in that series that you watch it, you're just like, dude. I mean, it's unbelievable how good this guy is defensively, even still at this age. Draymond is way worse than Dillon Brooks when it comes to such antics. Can't believe Golden State Warriors fans are mad about Brooks. I mean, Brooks has his fair share of questionable plays. Brooks is more of like a tyrant, I would say. The type of guys, the pests. You know, they try to get under your skin. They try to annoy you. Like, that's their goal. Draymond kind of tries to do that as well. But Draymond is more of just like an absolute loose fucking cannon. Like, you don't know what Draymond's going to do. They had to indefinitely suspended him. The league had to indefinitely suspend him because he was such a loose cannon on the basketball court. I love the long form content, but please don't completely stop the short form content. We'll see. We'll describe it being good like the NBA is WWE. NBA should be more respectable. It's not all about gaining viewers if it includes his antics. I mean, I don't think Draymond's antics are like, ugh, I cannot watch this sport anymore. Bad. I think it's good that a team like the Warriors, who were winning for so long and who were at the top of the mountain for so long in a legit dynasty, I think it's good that team had a heel. You know, that's part of it. That's part of the fun of having a team like that, is having a guy that everyone hates. That's kind of what made the Spurs just like a pretty boring dynasty. They didn't have anyone to hate, really. They had their fair share of guys come in and out, you know, Bruce Bowen. Like, they had their guys, don't get me wrong. In the moment, I absolutely fucking hated. Absolutely hated Tony Parker. Like, don't get me wrong. I hated his guts. But there weren't any, like, real legitimate heels. The way that Draymond Green is like somebody who unanimously pretty much everybody hates. Like, outside of Warriors fans, pretty much everybody hates Draymond. Is there anybody outside of Warriors fans who's like, dude, you know what? I'm a Draymond stan. I love him. Maybe besides like some big time basketball nerds. Yeah, Tony Parker had an affair with who was it? Barry, wasn't it Barry's wife? Was it Jason Richardson? I thought it was Brent Barry. No, I'm just saying shit. I'm just putting stuff out into the universe that I don't know it's true or not. He shouldn't have to endure racism. No, nobody should ever have to endure racism, bro. Draymond Green elbowing a guy in the face does not mean, all right, time to be racist. Like, he's giving me the green light, and now I gotta do it. Like, that's just not how it works, bro. That is not how it works. It was Brent Barry? Okay. Well. Draymond elbow Nas Reed in the face. All right, I'm going to say it. Like, that's not how it works, man. Who will rank higher all time, Kawhi or KD? KD is a better player, but Kawhi has achieved greater things. I mean, it'll be KD. You just you can't. Kawhi just hasn't played enough to really be in those. More people hate Draymond when he's done playing basketball and is doing commentary. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think Draymond's like that great for an inside the NBA type role, but we'll see how it all pans out. It'll be very interesting to see his post-playing career. I think KD over Kawhi just because, Kawhi's just hurt too much. That's just the reality. He's going to be worse than Shaq. I mean, I think it takes some time. Like, it took Shaq a little bit to even get to the point where, and I don't think Shaq's very good on TV right now, to be honest with you, but it took some time for him to even get to the point where it wasn't horrible, because early on it was horrible. I think now it's bad, but I think it's bad for different reasons now. Like, early on, he just wasn't comfortable being on TV, it felt like. Now it's like he's almost too comfortable, and he almost honestly kind of acts like a baby on live TV too often. The hat will be for sale soon. So I got Minnesota, honest to God. After game 2, I'm gonna go Minnesota in 5. I think the series is done. And then Denver OKC. We got game 3 tonight. Game 1, obviously, another one of these epic collapses we've seen from all these teams so far. And then game 2 is an absolute ass whooping. If you're the Nuggets, hey, so what? You lost. You did your job. And a loss is a loss, no matter if it's by 50 points or 1 point. OKC in 5. So my initial prediction was OKC in 5. No, I'll give Denver one more. I'll give Denver a game. I'll give Denver a game at home for sure. This can't be right. Is this just like a placeholder? Game 4, May 11th. Game 5, May 12th. That can't be right. Do they just not know yet? If OKC can mug Jokic and not get called, then it's over. All right, let's start here. I have a question for you guys. Is this the worst we've ever seen fans crying about refs? Genuinely asking. I'm sure over the course of NBA history, it's been bad. But this feels like every single game, ever, all season long, you go online, it'll just be people constantly crying about officiating, constantly crying about it. If we lost this game because of officiating, I mean, it got to a point where, there was a certain portion of the Mavs fan base that February 1st that was so fucking unbelievable with it that it was like, dude, like, we gotta at some point just talk about the games. Like, at some point, we have to talk about the play on the court. Not every conversation needs to revert back to officiating. Okay? I could not believe the amount of blasting the refs I saw from the Denver Nuggets fans in a game in which they lost by 40 fucking points. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. Like, have some shame. Look in the mirror. Pour some water, splash some water on your face. Give yourself some soft slaps and fucking lock in. Unbelievable. Crying about the refs in a 40-point blowout loss. Have some damn dignity. Have some self-respect. So, yes, the Thunder, if you've watched them at all, by the way, I think had the worst free throw differential in the league this season. I could be wrong on that, but one of the worst at the very least. The Thunder, if you've watched them at all, why do they allow so many free throws? I think they led the league in free throws against at the very least. Why? Because they're physical as fuck. They've been so physical all year. They have physical defenders. They fly around the perimeter. They're physical on the perimeter. They're physical in the post. They play physical basketball. That's why they're so good defensively. Teams cannot match that physicality. They're deep, they're young, they're athletic. Pretty much every team in the league cannot match that physicality. Okay? They get to work early in the post. Here's something to remember, guys. Okay? Here's something to remember. Refs will usually let you play if you, as a defender, do your work early trying to prevent a post-up. They will let you play a lot of the time. If you're shoving guys in the back and you're holding guys on the block in post-up situations, refs let that go if you do your work early. That's almost always how it's been. I think it's different with OKC. You think it's different because OKC because you guys hate OKC. Like, that's just it. Call a spade a spade. That's just the reality. Dort plays very physically, yes, and he gets the benefit of the doubt. There's plenty of those guys in the league. Sound like an OKC homer? I'm just sick of this shit. It's so fucking annoying. Like, honestly. It's just so annoying to me. There's the constant crying about officiating, man. It annoys the shit out of me, man. Like, they're just an incredible defensive team. They're an incredible defense. Crickets after 3-time MVP loses by 40 is cinema. This is the worst Jokic flopping I've seen. Never act like this before. Yeah, and Jokic is flopping like a fish out of water. Aaron Gordon's flopping to sell calls in the post. This is not the game to think it was annoying, though. They were terrible. The refs? I mean, look, here's the reality. If the refs, and we see this in the playoffs, we literally talk about this going into the playoffs every year, and then people are shocked when it happens. It's like, hey, there's some games where they're going to let you maul each other. Like, the game is officiated a little bit differently, and there's especially going to be some games where it's just like, we're going to let them play tonight. We're going to let them play. We're going to let them play. And a team like the Thunder, who can ramp up that physicality times a million, are going to be an absolute nightmare to play. Almost unbeatable. And then you see that, you're like, the league has to be rigged. The league has to be rigged. A defense being this physical, a defense being this good, a defense flying around like this, it feeling like there's, 7 people on the court. This has to be illegal. This has to be against the rules. The refs suck. You got smashed. You got smacked in the face. That's the reality. Is this the most important 2-game stretch of SGA's career so far? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. That might be fair. That's the most ridiculous comment. The refs can't call everything. Why not? If fouls were called, then teams would have to stop fouling or face the repercussions. Nobody wants everything called. Nobody wants that, dude. You don't really want that. You want them to call everything. Is it just me or is SGA's grifting? SGA's grifting different in the playoffs this year plays into the point you're making about letting them play? I mean, SGA is a grifter, don't get me wrong. I never thought it was to the level a lot of people think it is. 34 points on 11 shots for SGA. With how the ref convo annoys you, it annoys me, but people are still saying, well, this is a young team, especially after game one. Yeah, no, I agree with you. The point that the Thunder don't have a young, even though they are young, the Thunder don't have a young excuse. If for me, from an outsider's perspective, somebody who does like the Thunder, like that's just the reality. I like them. I've liked them for years. Obviously, the rivalry with the Mavs. Yes, I root against them when the Mavs are playing them. But as somebody who's loved Shea really his whole career and has followed them closely for a while, if they don't make the finals this year, it's a failure. Full stop. For me, it's either call it both teams or you don't. I didn't see that in game 2 with Denver versus OKC. I mean, it goes back to what I say. If the refs are saying there's going to be a little bit more physicality allowed in this game, that benefits the Thunder so much. You have no idea how much that benefits the Thunder. Okay? No idea. It's like it's going to look like the Thunder have an advantage because they're a more physical team. The way they play defensively, they maul you. That's how they play. And I mean that in a positive way. I'm not saying they maul you and like they're just fouling constantly. But they're up in your fucking grill the entire game. Call it both ways. Why should the Thunder have to tone down their physicality to suit the softer team instead of Denver ramping up their physicality to match it? That's what I'm saying. Like, it feels that way because Denver cannot ramp it up like that. That's why it feels like that. That's why it feels that way. Because one team does it consistently and the other team does it. Why did Minnesota get this shit from fans last season? They were physical as hell too. Because people hate the Thunder. Like, I'm really not sure why. People like, I know why. It's because it's because the barking and shit like that. Like, if you do stuff like that, Twitter's going to hate your guts. That's just the reality. If you do stuff like that, Twitter's going to hate you. Look at Tatum. Like, if you're corny online, you're going to get it. And Ant has aura. Exactly. That 17-4-7 stat line from J-Dub is better than the stat line that won Kawhi his first finals MVP. 17-6-2. J-Dub, that was a great game from J-Dub, by the way. Game 2 is a fantastic game from... I mean, look at this. 26 minutes, 22 minutes, 30. Jokic fouled out in the third quarter. Now, why did Adelman... Honestly, why were they playing... Jokic was probably going to get 37 minutes if he didn't foul out. Why? Why? That J-Dub Kawhi stat line don't compute. Different era. That was over a decade ago. Yeah, different era. And Kawhi's defense won him that finals MVP. Give me the hat. I need to take my lunch break, King. I mean, it'll be in a few hours. I've got like shit I need to do to set it all up. Chit and J-Dub front runners. I mean, we've been there. Hey, we've all fouled out of 2K games. My career games. After game 2, I guess my thing is, do I think OKC can close it out in Denver? Yeah, I'll just go OKC in 6. 93%. It's just they're just way better. I mean, that's just it. I'll give the Nuggets another game. I do think 5 is possible, though. Okay. And to wrap up today. Why are some people in the chat hating on Jokic? He's been so incredible. I mean, everybody gets hate. Denver in 7. All right. If you guys think that, you should go bet it. Honestly, if you guys actually think that and you're not just like hating, you should go and bet it right now. Denver's plus 350 to win the series. And not only that, you should just do Nuggets 4-3 plus 1100. That's what I would. If you think Denver's going to win the series, you might as well do this. Denver Nuggets 4-3, because it is hard to imagine the Nuggets winning in like 5 or 6. Wow, Thunder winning 4-1 is the best odds right now. Dude, the Celtics winning in 6 has better odds than any Knicks outcome. Dude, that is just insane to me, man. How is Knicks winning in 7 the lowest outcome? When you start working at FanDuel, I like looking at this shit. I like looking at odds. Pacers sweep is the best odds right now. Wow. Damn. The books like Missoula Ball, don't they? Well, I think they're probably looking at it and saying 20-point lead in both games. Horrible shooting, like historically bad shooting. Let's not overreact here. Let's not give it might be more than thinking the Celtics win. This is how it goes. It's let's not give bettors like this open window to bet on the Celtics to win the series. I mean, that's just crazy to me that still, all that said, that's crazy to me that Celtics reverse sweeping this series is better odds than the Knicks winning the series at all, up 2-0, up 2 games on the road. Crazy. All right. The Cooper Flagg sweepstakes. We are days away from the NBA draft lottery. Now, I haven't even begun to even look at draft prospects, really. I'll do it after Monday as we figure out the draft order and we know where our Dallas Mavericks are going to be picking. I did listen to a podcast yesterday with draft people. And I was a little disappointed to find out. The narrative surrounding this draft for the longest was, well, if you get a top 5 pick, you feel really good. Right? Top 5 pick, you're getting like a franchise-altering player. It does feel as though now that does not appear to be the case for most draft analysts. Cooper Flagg's in a tier of his own, number 1. Now it sounds like Dylan Harper's in a tier of his own, number 2. And then you really start to drop off. And now it sounds like 3 through like 12 is pretty much a crapshoot. Same type of risk, same type of quality. Which is a little disappointing to hear. I have seen people say that this draft was maybe a little overhyped. outside of the top end guys, which is disappointing. So let's get a roll. All right, we're only going to spin it once. Typically, I only like spinning it once to give us like the best idea. That way, like, it's more of an accurate representation to only spin it one time. Yeah. Dallas moves up to 4 in this scenario, right? Now, that would be cool, right? You start to look at VJ Edgecombe. You start to look at guys like that. How much does Fred VanVleet in his upcoming extension? What's your prediction? Now, the reporting was interesting on that because it sounds like he's almost certainly staying in Houston. That's a great question. Now, no chance he gets $40 million a year again. $30s? Does that sound right? They pushed it back, yeah, but the reporting is that they pushed it back and they're working on, NBA draft lottery power rankings. I doubt he would take $20 million a year. The thing is that he actually has some real leverage in that he's so important to the Rockets that if they don't make like a big move. Okay, so let's start. There are, I believe, and I could be wrong here, 13 teams in play to win because the Spurs are here twice. Fucking unbelievable. Aaron, 3 months inside Delusional Club. Any players traded during the draft this year? When was the last time we got a trade during the draft that included players like a significant one and not just a salary cap dump to move up and stuff like that? So we have 13 teams that are on the table. The Spurs have their own pick, obviously, which has the 8th best odds. They also have Atlanta's pick, which is 14th. God, can you fucking imagine? So they have a 6.7% chance to land the number 1 overall pick. Can you imagine? Let's start with them. We'll just put the Spurs down first. This is kind of where we would like to see, just as basketball fans, outsider basketball fans, where would we like to see Cooper Flagg land? I mean, you can't deny Wemby and Cooper Flagg is pretty incredible. And it's almost impossible to imagine a scenario in which that team is not winning multiple championships. Wemby, Cooper Flagg, Castle, and they have Fox. They also have Fox. I mean, that would just be unreal if that happens. Think of the scenario. I honestly kind of forgot about Fox. Think of this scenario. Spurs with the lottery. Bucks come calling, asking for expiring contracts only +1 for Giannis. What say you? If I'm a Spurs, I'm saying no to that. Which I guess sounds crazy, but, no. Cooper Flagg will probably never even come close to the player Giannis is. But I'm bringing him in. He's, 19 years old. I have him next to Wemby for the next 10+ years. The next decade. Plus, I don't have to worry about shit. Giannis just speeds up my timeline so quickly that I'm pretty much like, I'm losing all my flexibility. I have to make other moves to make sure my team's ready. No way you say no to Giannis when Wemby's on a rookie deal. I think for the Spurs, what would be the rush into going into that fast? I think they'll be good next year. Will they be championship level good? No, but assuming Wemby plays, in this scenario, they get the number 1 overall pick. They're adding Cooper Flagg, who I think is going to have a great rookie season. Year 2 of Castle, Fox, fully integrated. That's going to be a good team. They just traded assets for De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, but De'Aaron Fox is still young enough, and they didn't sell the farm. Getting Fox to pair alongside Wemby still allows you to be like, we're still kind of wanting to build up some young talent here and there. We're still wanting to accumulate assets if that's what we want. Giannis is, we are full steam ahead. And let me say this though. I think they should try to get Giannis, but I don't know if I would trade number 1 overall. Like, that's just kind of it. Absolutely, I think they should try and trade for Giannis. I don't know if I would trade the number 1 overall pick in a draft where there's a clear-cut number 1 guy who's going to be incredible in the NBA. Cooper Flagg's going to be incredible. He won't be as good as Giannis. What about Dylan Harper? So if the Spurs get the 2nd overall pick, yeah, I think that's fair to trade that. If they get Flagg and also get Giannis, we're talking like 8 titles. So we were talking, is there a team that Giannis could get traded to that would make them the title favorites next year? Because you know how this shit goes. Is there any what would have to happen for the Spurs to be title favorites next year? Like, there's no way, right? Would them getting Giannis and Flagg in this hypothetical scenario make them the title favorites? Yeah, Thunder for sure. I think that's the only one, actually. Maybe the Knicks. I'm talking realistic trade destinations for Giannis. All right, so Spurs right here. The next team up is the Hawks. So the Hawks owe their pick to the Spurs, but they do have the Sacramento Kings pick, which does have higher odds than their own pick. Yeah, Cooper Flagg, actually pretty interesting fit in Atlanta next to Jalen Johnson. I kind of like that quite a bit. Obviously, Trey. I wonder if them winning the lottery, they have a 0.8% chance. I wonder if them winning the lottery would change how they approach the Trey situation. And it's just like, all right, it's Flagg and it's Jalen Johnson. That's just what we're doing. I'll put them below. Just I would hate the idea of Cooper Flagg landing on the Spurs as a Maverick fan, but as a basketball fan, I mean, I can't lie. That shit would be crazy. Let's not lie to ourselves. Oh, Rishi Shea. Can we trade Trey for a boatload of picks from like Houston and take a swing and a few young players to restart? I have no clue what Trey's market would be. No clue. Do we think Trey gets you a boatload of picks? I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. Trey, Ja, LaMelo, these point guards. Like, I don't know. That feels unfair to Ja to lump him in with those two, but I think that's kind of probably where he's at. I have no clue what their value would be. If they get traded for 5 first-rounders, okay. Like, all right, yeah. If they get traded for like 1 or 2, that also wouldn't surprise me. 2 Suns first-round picks, Easton, Shepherd, and salary get it done. 2 Suns first-round picks. So in this scenario, did they call the Suns about Booker for that package and they said no? No, I know the Suns have their picks. I'm saying, or the Rockets have the Suns pick. I'm saying in this scenario, did the Rockets call the Suns about Booker with that package and the Suns said no? Because that's the only way I would do that for Trey. And I don't even think I'd do that if I'm the Rockets. Trey just is such a departure from all the other players on your team. Chicago is next. 1.7% chance to land the number 1 overall pick. Now, from just a league perspective, Flagg in Chicago would be interesting because they've been just kind of, so bland for the last 15 or so years. Decade. We'll give them a decade. For the last decade. After the unfortunate D-Rose injury. They've been so bland. And it's such a giant market. It's such a marquee team for the league that them landing Flagg would be pretty important. So it'd be Giddey, Kobe White, Flagg, Mazulis. It's kind of interesting. I'm just like, where I'm at with the Bulls is like, do I think they're capable of building a good team right now? I think him being on the Bulls would be cooler than the Hawks personally, but not as cool as the Spurs. Mavericks. Please just give me something. Please. I won't say I wouldn't ask for anything again because that's not true. But I feel like I kind of deserve this. And look, I know we've been lucky with Dirk and Luka in back-to-back drafts. The way this is all shaped out, don't you agree that we kind of deserve some type of reprieve? Please. Flagg on the Mavs. Well, if this happens, the league's rigged. I'm telling you that right now. If this happens, the league is rigged. Okay? The league is absolutely rigged. And I'm okay with that. Flagg, the replacement of Luka, not that they play the same position, not that they play similarly at all, but just the face of the franchise now, would be pretty funny. Fit-wise, Flagg next to AD, I like that. Flagg next to Lively, I like that. Flagg next to AD and Lively, you're kind of pushing it a little bit there. You already got something, man? The Rangers just won the title when people in Dallas said they'd give anything to win it. I was not saying that. I don't fuck around with saying stuff like that. I'd do anything. I'll never ask again. That's not true. I'll ask again. That's not true. I'll ask again. Look, personally, I think the Mavs should be number one. Right? Just think about it. Just think about it. Think about the storylines. Think about the narratives. Think about the, oh my God, and now they have Flagg to replace, and just the line of succession, right? The white superstars. Next year, you'd have Kyrie. I mean, would you just start Flagg at the 3? Kyrie, Clay, Flagg, AD, and Lively. Who the fuck's guarding guards in that lineup? That is a 2K ass team. Maybe you go out and trade for a guy to guard guards. I agree with you. I think and I'm gonna be real with you. Okay. The league is absolutely going to rig the lottery to ensure Dallas does not win it. That's my stance. And Dallas has a 1.8% chance. So the likelihood of them winning it is already next to 0. But the league will not allow it to happen. I promise you that. I promise you that. Trade PJ for Dyson? Well, the Hawks say no. Mavs win lottery. We're hearing Nico Harrison has Dylan Harper and Flagg in the same tier. How much would this story terrify you? Oh, that would make me sick to my stomach. No, I'd be scared for. And what's hilarious is, I will be in Europe during the draft. So let's just walk this scenario through. The Mavs laying the number 1 overall pick. I'm telling you right now, I would be fucking petrified my entire time in Europe. And I'm doing slightly unplugged again, meaning I'm going to delete all my social media apps. I'm going to remove anything that would tell me anything happening in the NBA. We did it last year and it was great. I would be horrified the entire time. I don't know if I'd be able to make it. I think I'd look it up. I'd be scared he's going to trade it for Giannis. And let me be clear. If the Mavs land the number 1 overall pick again, not going to happen. But if they did, draft Cooper Flagg. Don't consider anything else. Don't consider a single other thing. Take Cooper Flagg and that's all right. We're honest to God, if you land number 1 overall pick and you get Cooper Flagg, you have your pick next year. I think you consider a world where do we maybe shop AD? Now, this is what I would do if I were 2K GM. Do we maybe shop 8D? And I'm spending time talking about this now because this is the only time we'll be able to talk about it. The draft lottery is Monday, and the Mavs are not moving up in the lottery. I promise you that. Okay. But do we trade AD, try to get some return for him, kind of bottom out next year, and let's try to pair Flagg with another young guy, and then that's our future? But I'd be so scared. Thoughts on the people named Skylar? I just think of Skylar from Breaking Bad. It's one of those names that have been ruined by a TV character. Although I think Skylar's was in the Breaking Bad universe, in the fans, Skylar, I think, was justified most of the time. My husband is a murdering psychopath meth dealer that has brought so much pain to our family, and we are in constant state of danger. She was right pretty much the entire time. But they did make her to be unlikable in the show. They did make her purposely annoying, though. I know she cheated on Walter, but Walter was out there murdering people, right? Happy birthday, Mr. President. Your name is Tuco? Nice. Spurs have the Hawks pick, yes, but the Hawks have the Kings pick. And I don't think that's protected. So do you. We've seen it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you guys have seen me in Schedule 1. I mean, we have mercilessly slaughtered people. And that's just how the game goes. I don't give a fuck. I'm putting the Mavs number 1. I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? Mavs number 1. Come on. Let me have something, man. Trailblazers. 10th in odds. 3.7% chance. I would love this. I don't want him to go to the Western Conference, okay? I would absolutely love this. The Blazers, I think, are so much closer than people realize to being like a legitimately competitive team. And I've been saying this for weeks now. I legit think the Blazers are going to be an aggressive team in the offseason. I think they're going to do something aggressive. I don't know what that looks like. Remember last year they traded for Deni Avdija. Deni Avdija was incredible for them this season. Yes, I mean, like an Ayton trade, like they're going to make some type of trade. They got Robert Williams, Ayton, Klingon. And if they were to win the lottery and get Flagg, you look at their team and it's like, Jesus. Klingon, Flagg, Kamara, Avdija. Like, damn. That team's going to be fucking disgusting defensively. Would they do Klingon for another top 10 pick this year to get someone like VJ Edgecombe with Flagg? No, I think they'd probably want to keep Klingon. All right, let's just be honest. I can't have the Mavs number 1. I mean, it would be kind of nasty, but the Spurs are number 1. That's just the truth. It would be insane. Mavs number 2. Boom. I think the Blazers are right here. I think him being on the Blazers would be sick. Now, they're probably going to try to dump Ayton. They're probably going to try to move Robert Williams. I don't think they try to move Klingon, though. I would love him on the Blazers. Well, okay, OKC can't land the number 1 overall pick. The best OKC can do in the lottery is 7th. If Philly has the nightmare scenario. Rockets. So the Rockets have the Suns pick, 3.8% chance. It doesn't it's not what they need, really. But if the Rockets were to win the lottery, let's say, and didn't trade for a guard, you could have insert guard here. Brooks at their 2, I guess. Amin, Flagg, Şengün. That team's going to be even better defensively than they already were. That team would be fucking insane. The last 2 times University of Houston lost in the championship, and the last 2 times Blazers lost a coin flip with Houston, Rockets got number 1 pick. Uh-oh. Who is a player you'd trade the rights of Flagg for the Spurs if you're the Spurs, if not Giannis? Jokic, Tatum? Man, I don't know if there's an answer. I mean, maybe I'm really overthinking it, but if I'm the Spurs, I'm just looking at it from a timeline perspective. Assuming they think very highly of Flagg, which I'm not sure why they wouldn't. Feels like a perfect Spurs player. Flagg, Wemby. What the fuck do I have to worry about for 10 years? I don't have to worry about shit. I don't have to worry about anything. No, not a min. No. I'm not doing it for Tatum, I'll tell you that much. Luka, I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm the Spurs, I'm not doing that. I have to be honest. If I'm the Spurs and I get the number 1 overall pick, I'm not trading that for Luka. I just would not do it. I'd be trading a number 1 overall pick that I have for cheap for 4 years versus a guy who, look, I do have concerns about, and I'm going to have to pay $60 million. That's just the truth. Number 1 overall rights are Anthony Edwards for the Spurs. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Look, and before you guys say Edwards and Luka, look, if I'm a team putting myself in the shoes of a Spurs GM, I'd have my concerns about trading for the number 1 overall pick for Luka. Okay. He's going to turn 27. That's fine, timeline-wise. But I'd be concerned about his injury stuff. I'd be concerned I have to pay him $60 million. That stuff scares me a little bit. I still feel like I would just keep Flagg, honestly. I still feel like I would just keep Flagg. Let's just do. We have our 2 guys. If Flagg is what we think he'll be, we have our 2 guys, and that's that. As much as I love Luka, I'd agree. I don't think I'd trade for him. I'd risk it with Flagg. Do you think Flagg is an all-NBA 5-time in his career? No, probably not. Hey, dude, I don't have Twitter. Can I still get the shop link? Fullydelusional.shop. It'll probably drop around 4-ish. Think Luka makes 5 more in his career? I mean, I would hope so. But I would also look at it like Flagg and Wemby would be coming into their own at the same exact time. Because Flagg and Wemby would be coming into their own at the same exact time. If we just assume that let's just say Luka has like 5 years of his prime left. Well, the way that the NBA works, that means Luka would be exiting his prime before Wemby's even in his prime or Wemby's reaching his prime. Also, I'm just imagining Flagg and Wemby defensively. That's so interesting. I honestly don't think the Spurs would do it. I really don't think the Spurs would do it. I do not think the Spurs would do it. I just don't think they do. Spurs love their rigged number 1 overall picks. That's true. Answer me about the cost of the hat. I think it's going to be $35. I'll refer to anyone he visits the West Bank. Not till then. That's fair. Do you keep Vassell, KG, or Sohan if you have to? I mean, dude, if I land Flagg, all of those guys could get traded tomorrow. Okay, moving on. Were we talking about someone? Rockets. It would be sick if he's on the Rockets, honestly. It just would. That'd be fucking sick. I'd go Rockets ahead of the Mavs, but behind the Blazers. I would actually love him on the Blazers. I would love it. Spurs again. Then we have Toronto, our first Eastern Conference, our second Eastern Conference team, third Eastern Conference team, Toronto. I mean, I guess it would be cool to give Toronto like a legit homegrown superstar number 1 overall pick. God, there's just something like. There's just, I know Canada would love them. It would be cool to have that for them, but. It's just, I close my eyes and I don't see it. It's not, I'm doing the Colin Cowherd, close your eyes with Tatum, and what do you see? I'm closing my eyes, Cooper Flagg with the Raptors, and it's just not hitting. Like, I'm just sorry. It's sad because I'm like, I want him out east. I want him to a team that hasn't had something like this in a while. I've closed my eyes with the Raptors, and I'm like, Cooper Flagg, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes and Flagg. Like, fuck all those other guys, honestly. Scotty Barnes and Flagg. Okay. Now we're talking a little bit. Flagg, Dick, and Barnes. Okay, now we're talking a tiny bit. That's a little fun. But again, it's just something that's just lacking there. You know, there's like a punch that's lacking. I think I'd have them below the Bulls. That's just the reality. Nets. Now, this feels shitty. Look, there is an aspect, like, I think I kind of want Cooper Flagg on an American team. Is that, look, as a white American guy, this is a big one for us. It just is. This is a big one for us. Okay. Do I want him in Canada? You know? I really don't. I'm being honest, right? This is a big one for us. This is one of our biggest. This is one of our biggest swings in a while. The Nets. If you're Giannis, does the Nets potentially landing Cooper Flagg change the dynamic for you at all? Because right now, this whole, like, the Nets are a big team to watch for Giannis. You do look at it and you're like, oh, well, if Giannis' number one thing is winning, then what the fuck do the Nets, like, what happens there? Does Giannis see it similarly to the way that KD and Kyrie saw it, which is like, we can go there, blank slate, we can recruit, we can like do whatever we want there, build our own team, maybe. So is there a world where Nets win the lottery, Now you're looking at Giannis like, we have Cooper Flagg. And then we could also make cap space. So you can come here, it'd be you, Cooper Flagg, and somebody else. Brooklyn can do a lot of moves. Play with D'Lo. That's right. You got the D'Lo connection. Is D'Lo a free agent, or does he have an option, or is he just a free agent? Another scenario, Boston flames out, and for this year, they make a call to Brooklyn, offer their pick from 2017 back to them, Tatum and White for number 1. Nets have Giannis, Tatum, and White. There's no way the Celtics do that. But that would be interesting. So, okay, all right, that's actually an interesting one. Let's say the Nets win the lottery. And a similar situation happens to what happened with the Clippers a few years ago, where Giannis looks at you and says, I'll go to the front office right now. Me and the Bucks front office, we've been talking. And look, they respect me so much. They understand the situation. They'll trade me to whatever team I say I want to get traded to. I will say you, but you have to trade the number 1 overall pick to land me some like legitimate talent to play alongside. Do you do that if you're the Nets? If it's like, yeah, okay, fine, Giannis. And then let's just say, I'll just throw a fucking name out there. Let's just say the Suns hear word of that. And they're like, whoa, okay. Book, listen, I know we said that we would never trade you, but number 1 just became in play. Number 1 overall pick just fell into our laps, basically. So you get Giannis and Book. Mavs get number 1 pick and could trade it to get Luka back. Would you do it? Do we have to trade AD back? Because I'm thinking of a scenario where you get Luka back and it's Luka, AD, and Kyrie. And I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, I'm in. It worked for the Cavs with Wiggins. Yeah, that did happen. They're a free agent. Nets can offer them a bag. But there's not a lot of great free agents this year, though. The free agency class sucks. This free agency class is terrible. So you guys wouldn't do that. I'm getting mixed answers for the Nets. So you're basically saying, so Giannis comes to you and say, I will play it for you. You have to trade the number 1 overall pick. Go find somebody. I'm not picky. Go find somebody. So basically, it's the Nets have to say, we are going to trade the number 1 overall pick to basically get Giannis plus a player. And if we don't do this, then we're not getting Giannis. And it's just going to be Cooper Flagg. Who would Giannis want? A guard, a big, or a wing? I mean, if you're the Suns, I know you said that Booker's untouchable, but I mean, if this scenario were to play out, the Nets call your phone and offering a number 1 overall pick for Book, that changes the dynamic pretty quickly, wouldn't it? I'm keeping Flagg much longer timeline. It gives him a year or 2 to be the guy and get acclimated to the league. So I think I would agree with you in like a 2K world, but in the real world where business stuff matters, owners get antsy. Nets can sign Turner Reed and trade for Giannis this year. Turner, Giannis, Coop, Thomas goes crazy. Assuming they win the lottery. Miles Turner, Giannis, Coop, and Cam Thomas. Dude, that team's not winning shit. This is why the Giannis to Brooklyn thing is just like, how is that team winning? Well, like, so much would have to happen for that team to be winning. Cam Thomas, Cooper Flagg, Giannis, and Miles Turner. Well, Miles Turner and Giannis is an interesting duo because that's basically a younger, not as good as a rim protector, but younger Brook Lopez. They'd have to get a guard. Cam Thomas, get serious. They'd have to get a point guard. They'd have to get a point guard. Nets is interesting because I think it opens up a wide range of possibilities. I'd put them below the Rockets. Honestly, actually, I'd put them above because I'm trying to think now. When was the last time the Nets had like a really interesting homegrown star? I mean, I'm trying to think. Brook Lopez is their all-time scoring leader. Tatum, yeah, they fucked that up. Joe Harris. The Jason Kidd wasn't even homegrown. It's Brook Lopez. Grody. I mean, your answers are Brook Lopez, Kenyon Martin, who they drafted number 1 overall, who was good for them, made an all-star team. Who got into it with Nick Young on a podcast. I don't know if you guys saw that. Richard Jefferson. Like, you know. No, Joe Johnson wasn't even homegrown. Joe Johnson went there late in his career. I like there being 2 good New York teams, I have to say. Philly, now I'm just going to be dead honest with you guys. I would be fucking sick to my stomach if Philly won. I'd be sick to my stomach. I do not want Philly to win the lottery whatsoever. I'm putting them dead last. And like this goes beyond basketball fit. Because yeah, there's a world like, okay, Maxey, McCain, Cooper Flagg. That's pretty fun, right? But I'm sorry. Philly, gross. No. Sorry. No. I don't want it. And the same goes for the Pelicans, too. Like, I'm putting them also ahead of... Like, how many times can you get bailed out? No. Sorry. The Thunder could get Philly's pick. They're going to get Miami's pick. They're going to get the Clippers pick. Well, the Clippers pick is a swap. So they could have, unless I'm wrong, they could have 3 picks in this draft. The Nets have 4 picks. Yeah, the Nets do have 4 picks. They've got Houston's, they've got the Knicks, they have Milwaukee's, and they have their own. I don't want them on the Pelicans or Sixers. I'm sorry, I just don't. Hornets. Now we get to the Hornets need one. You know, they need a win. That team is just so poorly ran. So poorly ran. LaMelo and Flagg is pretty fun. I don't know what the fuck to feel about Salon. I'm sorry. I can't. I feel bad because you guys know I love my Hornets. I feel bad, but I can't. I close my eyes and I'm like, Hornets, really? Oh, Brandon Miller, of course. Of course, Brandon Miller. Well, Miller and Flagg is pretty fucking cool. Now, I'm thinking about it. That duo could produce quite a lot of highlights. Miller changes the dynamic. I like Brandon Miller quite a bit. LaMelo's tradable. Like, let's just call it what it is. I think Hornets would be below the Bulls, ahead of the Raptors for me. Wizards, I mean, they deserve it. They deserve a win. Like, let's just call it what it is. The Wizards deserve something. I mean, God bless them. I like the way the rookie class played over the course of the season, right? Flagg, Koulibaly, Sarr. Bub, Keyshawn George. That's not terrible. And you'd be horrible again next year, so another chance at the lottery the following season. What do you mean they deserve a win? They got off Beal's contract for a shit ton of second round picks and swaps. They got their win. I'm saying they deserve something. I mean, like I do. I think they've made good decisions over the last couple of years. I've sort of liked the way they have front officed. Getting off of that Beal contract and getting swaps, I mean, huge, massive win for them. Huge, massive win. I guess my thing with Flagg, though, is I think for Flagg to reach his ultimate ceiling of what he could be in the NBA, I think it'd have to be on a team that's a little bit more competitive immediately. Because I think going to a team like Washington would just lead to bad habits and just development in areas that I don't know that he needs development in. But I guess there is this scenario where it's like, yeah, Flagg got to go on the Wizards and shoot 20 times a game, and now he's turned into this elite shot creator. Now he's one of the best players in the league, absolutely. Was their pick last year a bad pick, though? Sarr? I mean, no. Sarr was a consensus for a lot of the draft process, like a consensus number one overall guy, and then by the time the draft got closer, it was like, we don't know who the fuck's going number one. Sarr number two wasn't bad at all. I mean, that felt fine in like a draft where people didn't really know. Where do I put the Wizards? I'll put them ahead of the Hornets, behind the Bulls. And then Utah. I mean, let's think about the narratives. Utah gets its white superstar. Could squint and see a team that's competitive pretty quickly if they wanted to. Markkanen, Flagg, Walker Kessler. My God, they're really white, huh? Kyle Filipowski. Like, Jesus. Or are the Bulls so high the team never goes into the tax? Hard to win with that. Because they're a marquee market. All white starting five. Kessler. So let's just think about what their starting five would be. Collier starting at point guard. Collier starting at point guard. Who would be your two guard? Danny Ainge starts at point guard. Yeah, maybe. Grayson Allen. There you go. Grayson Allen. Keontae George. I want to love guys. Believe you me, I want to love Keontae George. Sometimes he just makes you want to rip your fucking hair out. And I do. I want to love him so bad. I want to love him so badly. Tyler Hero. Yeah, that could happen. Okay. Collier and Keontae George is your backcourt? No, there's no way that would be it. They'd start Sexton or something, or go out and get somebody. Is Keontae George the Kobe of Spencer Dinwiddie's? All right, George, Collier, backcourt, fine. Ugh. Markkanen, Flagg, Kessler, Edwards, or not Kessler, Edwards, Jesus. Maybe Walker, Kessler. That's not a very good team. That's not a very good team. Defensively, that could get kind of interesting. And I guess, No, I think Collier's starting. I think they're probably hoping Collier can start for them moving forward. I think he showed enough in the back half of the season where you're like, okay, all right, there's something there. I mean, Hendricks, I think in this scenario would have to come off the bench because he's not starting over Markkanen, Flagg, or Walker Kessler. And yeah, they have a ton of assets to go and get like a legit guard. That's not half bad. I think I'd rank that pretty highly, actually. Now, why do I have the Nets so high? If you get Flagg, would it make sense to trade Lowry for the timeline argument you had Wemby? Yeah, if a team comes calling for Lowry, absolutely. Absolutely. If you could get a legit haul for Lowry, for sure. Let's move the Nets down below the Bulls. And maybe the Wizards. We'll put the Nets right here. It's better than the Mavs, we're being serious. Yeah, we'll put the Jazz right here. So this is my final list of the 13 lottery teams. My power rankings based off of where I would like to see Cooper Flagg end up. Now, as a Mavs fan, Mavs are number one. Let's just say that. Sixers dead last. I don't want the Sixers to win the lottery. I just don't. It would feel nasty to me. I don't want it. Pelicans, and it's nothing against the Pelicans or their fan base. They've been a cursed franchise now for years, and I feel badly for their fans. But that's exactly why I don't want him going there. They're a cursed franchise. All right, let's call a spade a spade. Hawks, just not that interesting to me. Raptors, again, same thing. I don't know what it is. It's just not that interesting to me. It could be, like, basketball fit-wise, that'd be a pretty competitive team almost immediately. Their roster's so expensive. I don't understand what they're doing. Hornets, let's just call it what it is. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you, man. This feels bad. Sorry, Charlotte Hornets fans. The Raptors, I think, are inarguably a better option than the Hornets. Just call it what it is. The Nets deserve some type of win. No, not that I say the Nets deserve some type of win, but I like the idea of Flagg with the Nets. It's just kind of this homegrown. All right, this is Brooklyn's like homegrown guy. They haven't really had this in their franchise history. And it does. I would like the idea of what do they do now? Does Giannis go there? Who are they going to trade? Like that. That's like a fun month-long news cycle. Wizards, again, I think, I'm ready for the Wizards to start being good again. Bulls, marquee franchise, gets their big, poster child. Hawks, Bulls, Wizards, Pelicans are historically a 500 team, never pay the tax. Worst choices, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, if that's the way you want to look at it. Mavs at 5. In my heart, Mavs are 1. But Mavs at 5, I mean, objectively, they're probably lower than this, right? Like, objectively, they're probably lower. Jazz at 4 would be very interesting. Rockets, very interesting. Blazers, I would love that. Really, I would. I don't want him to go to the Western Conference unless it's to the Mavs, but I would love him on the Blazers. And then Spurs. I mean, I want the Wizards to be good again. I know I say again, but they were like in the mid 2000s, 2010s with Beal and primarily John Wall. They were good. They weren't like championship contending level, but they were a good team. They had some really fun playoff battles. And I think that's a market that does love basketball. And they've just been so shit for so long with not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I just feel badly for them. I vote to move Blazers to 1. No, man, I'm sorry. The Spurs are number 1. It would just be insane, the Spurs having Cooper Flagg. Wow, we spent way longer on that than I wanted or anticipated. That's slightly biased for you. That's just how it goes. We will be live tonight. I think we're going to do both games. Is it 6:30? Do we have a 9 o'clock game tonight? No. Don't tell me we have a 9 o'clock game. No. Not a 9 o'clock game. We'll be live tonight for both games. God, cheapest tickets, $600. Tickets as low as $600. Jesus. Oh my God, that is just crazy, man. $600. Stars play at 8:30. We'll be having that on as well, off to the side. God, man, $600 fucking dollars. Listen to this on Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. I love you. Spurs would stinky. They're already wasting Wemby career. Oh, come on, bro. Come on. All right. I will post the shop is fully delusional. The link to the Spotify or Shopify shop is fully delusional. Fullydelusional.shop. These hats will be dropping later today. I'm assuming they're gonna go quick. I only have 100 of them, so if you want them, be ready to buy them. Get those credit cards out, folks. Be ready to buy them. And that, folks, is that. Okay. Whew, just got the chills just thinking about these hats flying off the fucking shelves. All right, folks, thank you all for tuning in. All of the OGs, you guys, I love you very much. Could have spent your Friday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, you guys never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. We'll be live tonight for both games, so we'll see you later. Love you all. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.